Okay, we are now recording. We got two Lisas in the house. Hi, Lisa Zagaria.
Hi.
Is this the first time you're here?
Yes. Hello.
Great, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Lisa, I spoke with you before.
Sorry?
I spoke with you before, Lisa. I'm from Bumble.
Oh, nice. It's like sometimes seeing you different, like if I don't know, like that's why you have to remind me. But thanks. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Where are you zooming from? Where are you at?
El Monte?
El Monte?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. I am in Encino right now.
Oh, nice area.
Yeah, it's super duper hot.
Yeah, I know. What is it right now?
I have to get used to that weather. The weather compared to like living 1 mile or 5 miles from the beach, you still get the ocean breeze.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just wait. You want to wait a couple more minutes?
Yeah, that's okay. I think, maybe it's people just hopping on or.
Yeah, we usually do the call at 11.
Yeah, but can't remember why we did it.
This is a good time too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
What have you been up to, Lisa?
A lot. Yeah, just busy.
Really?
How about you?
I've been busy moving
Oh, okay.
place to another, to another, to another.
Are you happy there?
Yeah, right now this is my boyfriend's place.
Oh, okay.
He moved in here, so
Okay.
I'm gradually getting my stuff into like its nook.
Oh, nice.
Where
Well,
it should be
congratulations.
hanging my pictures, my paintings. Rearranging the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
putting the pots and pans in the way I would like to have it. Something simple like that.
Yeah, Lisa, how has Bumble been for you?
I don't go on it as much. I mostly did it just to like get that self-esteem boost from the business perspective,
Okay.
But I'm like super busy with my kids on Zoom classes, and then I'm a teacher's aide, Zoom work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not on there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like before I started going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids do you have?
Too many. I have
three.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're Lisa, who we already had a session and you connected me with. You know what it is? Like sometimes it's like seeing someone like this. It's like, like with glasses and I didn't see you on the call. So it's like sometimes putting a face to a name and like I have you in my phone as Lisa Biz. So it's like I'm still getting acquainted with your last name. So I'm like, well, nice to like see your face.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Marilyn. Pretty girl. You're back.
I need to get a fan. I'm like, it's so hot in here. Hold on.
Okay.
So are you the head of this group, Anne-Marie? What is this group?
Founder, CEO of Girl Space. It's a social network for women entrepreneurs. We empower women by offering resources through workshops and webinars. And I created this safe space so we can speak freely, where we can speak raw, the more real, the more true that we can like help each other out. Like honesty, let's let it all out. You can speak your mind here freely.
Okay.
And backed by popular demand, Miss Lisa, intuitive energy reader and healer, I always get a lot of requests to bring her back. So, I mean, her followings have been increasing. We've been doing this for like more than 4 or 5 months now.
Since January.
We kicked off, started off with like 2 or 3 participants, and then now we got 16 people RSVPing.
Yeah.
So awesome. it always comes out small, and then we just like grow.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like whoever hops on. It's like, it's like just to help people.
But if you want to start, you can.
Yeah, maybe like 1 more minute.
Yeah.
See who hops on. But let's see.
This is a very hot topic. Everybody wants to learn more about self-love. I've got another lady. She is in Dubai, and she does self-love workshops too. And those 2 workshops are really, really popular here at Girl Space.
Mm-hmm.
anything about well-being and like intuitive and like energy healing, psychic, karmatic topics are attraction.
Okay, Lisa, now I have your actual last name in my phone, so I know it's you. Not just Lisa Biz. Yeah. Okay.
I have a friend that's a mindfulness coach, and I've been listening to her stuff on YouTube. And she said about like hugging yourself. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
God, it feels so good.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We should all start with that.
And she's like, rock yourself. And I taught my daughter. I'm like, let's hug ourselves. Okay. So we've done
That's
that.
cute.
How's your daughter?
She will be 8, 9/11. She'll be 8.
Oh, that's my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then the baby turned 4 on Monday. He's like crazy.
Ooh.
I blended watermelon, ice, sugar, and water, and like now he's running back and forth. I'm like, dang.
10-year-old, and he does Zoom calls all day from school. It's weird. It's like it's a job. He's on his computer from 8:30 in the morning.
It is. Yeah.
He comes out and eats lunch and then goes back. He lives with his dad, but I've witnessed how he does that. It's like a full-time job for these little kids now.
Yeah. All right. Should we get started? So congratulations for getting here. It means you have a healthy amount of self-love. So the workshop is complete. So before we get started, if we want to go around and say 1 to 2 words of where you can use more self-love, and mine is patience and acceptance. So everybody wants to go around, and no pressure to share. If you want to share, great. Don't, but sharing kind of opens it up. So
Mine is gratitude and acceptance.
all right. Lisa, Marilyn?
I'm going to go with patience and acceptance as well.
Okay. Good.
I can't think of 2. Just inner beauty. Seeing my inner beauty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. So before we kind of dive in, we're going to do the Anchored in Love meditation. And you have to just make sure, well, Lisa's done this, Emery's done. You've all actually done it. Good. Don't have to give you like newbie info. So just make sure your feet are grounded, your back is straight, your eyes are closed, and smiling as much as you can with teeth. So we're going to get that started. Okay. Anchored in Love meditation. Can everybody hear it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Sit down in a chair. Make sure your feet are grounded, your back is straight, your arms open, and eyes closed. And smile. All these components will help the energy flow throughout your whole body. Take a deep breath. Feel your waist has an invisible rope around it with an anchor attached, grounded to the center of the earth. Imagine anchors coming out through your feet to the center of the earth. Feel your whole body, your mind, and your spirit all very grounded. Imagine you're being showered with love and light throughout your whole body, all your muscles, and your cells. Feel that you're taken care of in this moment and always. Feel the peace, calmness, and bliss coming out through your heart. Breathe. Feel love going through your head, down your neck, shoulders, spine, arms, and out through your hands. Then feel the love through your heart, your stomach, to your hips, through your thighs, through your knees, to your ankles, and out through your feet. Sending loving energy anywhere you feel tension. And breathe. Imagine you're being showered with love and light throughout your whole body, muscles, and cells. Feel that you are taken care of in this moment and always. Feel the peace, calmness, bliss coming out through your heart. Think of anywhere you feel that you need more love in your life and send loving energy to that person, situation, body part, and send it back to yourself. Send loving feelings, and imagine the love is pushing the energy out. Remember to smile. Feel you're surrounded in a cocoon of love, grounded to the center of the earth. Every cell, muscle, and tissue is pure love. And remember to breathe. And when you feel ready, open your eyes with a smile. All right. How was that?
Great.
Everybody feel a little better? A little better than when they got here? My story, but it seems like I know all of you, so I really don't have to tell you my story. But it all started me just managing my own anxiety, looking for alternative methods to manage stress. And so I'm pretty much a self-improvement, self-love, diligent student, if you want to think of. Just I'm constantly looking for ways to improve my life, which in turn can improve friends, family, clients, whatever it may be. So that's what I do. And I help people relax and feel better. And yeah. And I mean, Lisa is probably the only one on this call. Emery, you've had like a short session with me, but Lisa's had like an hour session with me. Do you want to share anything? I don't feel like you have to, but sometimes I try to explain it, but coming from another perspective is always good.
It was good. Like every tension like was taken out of me. And I think that the anchor, the thing we just did, that really helped. Mm-hmm. And then the second part, when I was, she said you can lay down if you want. I was so relaxed that I wanted to sleep.
Oh, good. Good. Yay. That sounds wonderful. Sleep sounds wonderful. I didn't sleep very well last night. So if I'm like, if anybody's wondering, that's why I'm not my peppy self. But I'm here and we're going to love ourselves today. So I like to start out with a quote that is, self-love means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your own well-being to please others. Self-love means not settling for less than you deserve. And that's an unknown author. So I'm going to be diving into 4 areas. So it's going to be mind, body, spirit, and surroundings, and how to bring more harmony into all those areas. And then I'll be asking you questions, but it will be rhetorical questions. It won't be anything you have to answer, just more to keep in mind. So give me one moment. I'm sorry. Someone that wanted to get on the workshop just texted me. I don't know why I'm having problems. It looks like someone's having problems. If I just send them the link that you sent me, will that work, I guess? Emery?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Oh, I can do that. Meeting ID and passcode. Okay. Hold, everyone. Okay. Let's see. All right. Why is this not copying? Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Take your time. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Copy. Okay. Great. Okay. So mind. So the thoughts we think are powerful and hold energy. So is your mind peaceful or is it on overdrive? What's your inner dialogue? What are you telling yourself? Are you talking to yourself like your own best friend? And I feel like so many of us are hard on ourselves, where if someone came up to us off the street and said the things we were saying in our mind, we'd be like, excuse me, you're a little rude, that was a little harsh, but some have a tendency, not all the time, but we can have a tendency, if we're not monitoring our thoughts, to be critical and to be hypercritical and judge ourselves. So I feel like that's the default if people don't consciously work on their mindset. So has anybody ever heard of hidden messages in water?
Yes, because you told me.
Okay, good. Oh, we have a new caller, Yvette. Hi, Yvette, how are you?
Is my class, my schoolmate.
Sorry?
Yvette is my schoolmate from
Oh, nice. Nice meeting you.
Hi. Sorry, I have my child crying next to me, so.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, we already got started a little bit. We did a little meditation, and then now we're just talking about mind, body, spirit, and surroundings. So if you feel like sharing, we shared at the beginning like 1 or 2 words of where you can use some more self-love. And no pressure to answer, just if you feel called to it, you can.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
1 to 2 words where you can use some more self-love.
What do you mean by that?
Like either it's like, for me, it was like patience and acceptance.
Mine was gratitude and forgiveness. Your baby is so cute.
Thank you. I guess it would be patience and acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Well, have you heard of hidden messages in water?
Have I heard of it?
Mm-hmm. It's a book.
No.
So there's a scientist that took glasses of water and he wrote love on one, and peace, and another one hate, another one war, and he took a microscope, and the ones that said love and peace form these beautiful snowflake crystals, and then the ones that said hate and war form these disconnected snowflake crystals. So it just goes to show how powerful our words are. And as humans, we're made up of, I believe, 60% water. So it's no wonder people's bodies start breaking down if they're not kind to themselves. So there's a really great book that I always reference called You Can Heal Your Life.
Let me just close the door real quick. I'm sorry.
Sure.
You better. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So in the book, she says that if someone has knee issues, they're scared to move forward. If someone has back issues, it's responsibility. So it's always tied to something on the body wise. And then she even says saying a new affirmation 300 times in a day is okay. Because if you're trying to, basically it's like our brains are like computer software. It's like we're re-downloading new messages. So if we're saying, oh, I am beautiful, but you're not used to saying that to yourself, it's going to feel very strange at the beginning.
Very weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, that's why the more you say it, the better it'll be. And then they actually say gratitude is another way to feel better. So if you're ever stressed or uncertain about something, just writing down 10 things you feel grateful for, and that'll shift your energy. That's like another way. And laughter. So whether it's even real or fake humor, it shifts energy, whether you're like, ha ha ha, this is happening again, or like whatever it is. It's like, sounds very, it's like, I'm not saying you're not taking something seriously, but we have a tendency, if something is serious, to be very, oh, it's only one way. It's only one way. This is how it's going to happen. But then if we add a little humor to it, it lightens it up.
Like it shifts your mood.
Right. Yeah. Like it can shift your mood, even if it's just something you can't figure out. It's like, ha ha ha, I can't believe this is happening again. But you know what? I'm going to surrender this, or whatever it is. So things in life are out of our control, but we always have control over our thoughts and how we respond all the time. And meditation is one way to calm the mind and the spirits. And there's a breathing technique that I'm going to do that is, let's see. So it's breathing in slowly for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and then exhaling for 4 counts. So if everybody can do that, I'll kind of guide you through it just to get grounded in it. So everybody can just breathe in slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just a really simple breathing technique. There's other breathing techniques out there. Just especially if you feel overwhelmed, the one thing I feel like is quickest to go without us realizing it is our breath. So it's like all of a sudden you're anxious and you're like, you're like, oh wait, I'm not breathing. Maybe I should breathe. And so that's one exercise, or you can look up other exercises too. And hypnosis and EFT, it's like a tapping technique. Those are 2 other ways if you want to rewire your brain. So hypnotherapy, there's even videos on YouTube, or you can find a hypnotherapy specialist, and you can tell them what you're working on, whether it's like a phobia of something or different things. Like I even had a friend once who was terrified to fly, terrified. And she had hypnotherapy and she was fine after doing it. So she could like fly with no problem. So I share that, whether that's, something. And then another friend that had a lot of anxiety driving. And so she did that. So I even think I did it too, because I used to have this really old car that would like break down like whenever I'm on the freeway. So anytime I'd be on a long stretch, I'd be like, oh my God, even though I had a car that was great and it was a Honda, but I had an old car before that. And I was like, it's going to do the same thing. But, so I even did meditation for that. I did hypnotherapy for that like years ago, and it helped. It helped. So did you know that your subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind? So the thoughts that we're processing and the ones we've always been telling ourselves are running in the background. So that's why we have to actually really make a conscious effort to change that, to update that. Mm-hmm. So we actually have to actively work on it. And then, listening to affirmations or anything, hypnotherapy, all that before you go to sleep. Basically the time from right before you go to sleep is the time frame that you're more susceptible to receiving new information. So, and some great affirmations that I absolutely feel shift energy, and we can type those out, or feel free to write them out if you feel called to them. The first one is, I love and approve of myself, which sounds so simple, but it's very powerful. So I love and approve of myself. and everything is always working out for me. So everything is always working out for me. And then the power of I am statements. So that's a declaration of, whenever you say I am, you're basically making a declaration to the universe saying, you know, and most people, you know, on occasion can say like, I am broke, I am frustrated, I am, you know, whatever it may be. And people don't realize when you say I am, you're making a declaration. So it's like turning into something more powerful, saying like, I'm abundant, I am taken care of, I am loved, whatever it may be, just doing that. And then one of my favorite affirmations that I used to say when I was at a job that I was not happy at and I didn't know what the next steps were going to be is, all is well in my world. And I'll say this like twice or a few times. All is well in my world. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of the situation, only good will come. I am safe. So I'll say that again. So all is well in my world. Everything is always working out for my highest good. Out of the situation, only good will come. I am safe. So I said that pretty much on repeat, especially when you can't see where things are going to go. Like I'd be like, all is well, everything's happening for my highest good, only good's coming from the situation, I'm safe. So that's a really great affirmation to say, especially if you don't know where something's going to go. And the simplest affirmation you can say is thank you. So thank you for blank, thank you for this. Even saying thank you to yourself, which I feel like we can have a tendency to forget that how miraculous we are, the fact that we're even just humans and helping family, friends, mothers, wives, girlfriends, you know, we're all beautiful people and we should all embrace and be grateful for that and just try to find more things to be grateful for yourself and just appreciate yourself for, you know, how you're living and how you are. And just even the simplest thing of, I thank you for my health, or thank you for my body that I can move and I can see and all that stuff, you know, just keeping it even basic is going to help live good, happier life. And someone once told me that worry is a negative prayer. And after I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe we should stop that. So, just finding new ways. If you do feel like you're worrying, be like catching yourself like your own best friend. Like, okay, wait, why am I worrying? Is it really worth worrying about? You know, so just thinking about it from that perspective. And then one of the most powerful things I believe we can do is tell ourselves we love ourselves. And has anybody ever looked in the mirror and said, I love you? Oh my gosh, you have to do it. Even if it's 1 to 10 times, like look at yourself in the mirror in your eyes and saying, I love you. I love you. Like I actually told a friend once, she wanted to manifest a relationship, and she was saying, yeah, I want to manifest a relationship. I'm like, have you ever looked in the mirror and said, I love you? She's like, no. I'm like, well, how do you expect anybody to love you if you don't love yourself? You know? And so when she did the exercise, she was like, I teared up, like I was crying and everything. I'm like, that's good. Like crying actually releases toxins. So it's a good thing to do. I feel like it gets a bad rap, but yeah. So doing that, if you don't do anything today after this workshop, look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself. Even once, preferably 1 to 10 times, because the stronger you have that self-love, it spills over into other areas. It's like how you show up in the world, how you allow people to treat you, how you treat them, you know, how you dress. Like, I feel like it goes into so many avenues that people don't really realize. So, so emotional health. Are you releasing negative energy in a healthy way? So if you're angry, but you want to be positive about something, if you don't get that out, it's going to be really hard to be positive about it. So whether that's yelling or screaming or crying, obviously in a concealed area, you know, but punching a pillow, but like doing things, because, you know, it's, if you don't get that anger or frustration or whatever negative emotion you're feeling first, you're not going to be able to bring in the new. So think of it as like cleaning your mind, body, spirit, like doing that. It's really simple, but there'll be times when you're like, okay, I need to do this. I need to go yell or whatever it is. And body. So what words, thoughts, and feelings are you feeding your body? Are you telling yourself like, I'm beautiful, I love how I look, you know, I'm kind of just all over the place trying to think of like body things, but looking at your body as not, I feel like we have a tendency to be so hard on ourselves, like, okay, it needs to look a certain way or blah, blah, blah. It's like, how about just accepting yourself for right now and aspiring to, maybe it's like if you want to, you know, it's like if someone wanted to work out or get healthier. It's like, okay, well, I appreciate myself now, and then I'm going to make changes or whatever it may be. But just finding things, how to appreciate yourself now. You know, the fact that you're living, you're breathing, you're seeing, you know, it's like, I feel it's very basic, and so many people can just appreciate themselves for like even the smallest things that their body does. And it's like, we sometimes think, you know, it's like, oh, I don't run anymore. But when I used to, it's like, you think like, okay, I'm going to run 2 miles. And then, you know, say you're like, oh, but I should have ran 3. It's like, how about just congratulating yourself for doing that, you know? So, and then, yeah, so that's good. And then let's see. And then are you focusing on your strengths about yourself? So focusing on your strengths as opposed to just keep focusing on the things you want to bring in and not being like, oh, well, I'm pretty amazing. Like all the things I've done. I feel like there's, yeah, just everybody needs to be lighter on themselves. Because I feel like society and like magazines and everything just makes everything so like unrealistic, where it's like, we're not, you know, like just finding more ways to just love yourself now, you know? And, yeah. And, talking to yourself kindly, and yeah, it's like almost talk to yourself like you would a family member or your children, you know? It's like you would want to build them up, you know? It's like why we can't turn that same mindset to ourselves, you know? And then, yeah, just loving yourself as much as you can right now. And then food. Are you eating food consciously? And I'm just bringing these things up because, well, obviously with all this going on, I feel like people have learned to slow down. But before this, people are just eating, going, like, I gotta, you know, take care of the kids. I gotta, you know, take care of life or whatever it may be. But even just taking like 5 minutes, just like sit down and like eat food and 5-10 minutes with family, and just the more you can do that, because it'll just give you that mindset to just reset and just take the food in and just enjoy it. So just a reminder, just to slow down. And then exercise. Are you doing things you like or things you think you should do? So it's like, I used to think, oh, I need to have a personal trainer. But I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Then now I do water aerobics with senior citizens, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I do that, and I do yoga, and I'm happy, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care what anybody else thinks at all. I absolutely love it. And yeah, so it looks like Jamika has hopped on.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, Jamika. Good to hear from you.
You too. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, before we're talking about body right now and just ways to bring in more self-love for the body, but at the beginning we talked about maybe 1 to 2 words of where you feel like you can use more self-love. So whether that's patience, acceptance, and don't feel pressure to share. If you want to share, you can share, and if you don't, it's fine too. But it just kind of shifts the energy.
You said 1 word that, what did you say?
1 word that you would like to bring in more self-love to yourself.
Gentle.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah. Kind to yourself, being gentle with yourself.
That's
Yeah.
good. And then we're talking about exercise and just doing things that you like and make you happy. And slowing down. Are you taking, especially about that hour before you go to sleep, that's the best time to, if you can, disconnect from electronics as much as you can, because then you'll have smoother sleep overall. And just winding down, whether that's meditating, whether that's journaling, whether that's, yeah, any of that. So, and then dress. Are you wearing clothes that make you feel good, that make you feel your best self? So just, yeah, just doing more things to make you feel good, you know, whether it's anything small to just being like, I'm just going to put on some mascara today and I'm going to wear yoga pants. It's like, it's like just, you know, doing little things, whether it's big or small, but just remembering it's an investment in yourself anytime you can do things that make you feel better. Because then it kind of spills over with family and friends are like, oh, wow, like you seem really happy, or, you know, and just kind of spills over to everybody. Just take care of yourself. And then surroundings and relationships. So they say the 5 closest people to you are a direct reflection of you. So I heard that years ago, and it really made me look deeper into thinking, okay, are these people uplifting me? Are they calling me out in loving ways? Yeah, so just thinking about that and just bringing out the best in you, whatever it is, because I feel like some, you know, just remembering to surround yourself. It's almost like think about it as a home. Like you decorate it nicely. You want things to look nice, or how you like it. And it's like, okay, are these people good for me? Or, you know, so just thinking about that, just something to think about. And creating healthy boundaries. So I like to use like the car analogy, where say you're at 3/4 of a tank to a full tank, you're able to give to others, no problem. You're like, here you go, I feel great, no problem. But if you're at like 1/4 the tank to empty, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get resentful, you're gonna be like, like just blow up. So just recognizing your own internal gauge and what you need to do, whether it's like, I need to go lay down for 5 minutes, or I need to go take a walk, or I need to meditate, or just checking in more before you blow, or you're like on your family. So just checking in with yourself more, like, what do I need right now? Do I need to just go for a walk, or do I need to like play with my kids for a minute, or whatever it is? Just finding more things that are going to make you feel good. And then home life. Is it your sanctuary place? Is it a space of, even if it's not like your whole space, even if you just have a part of your house that is somewhere you can recharge, reconnect, and just relax. So just finding somewhere like your sanctuary, either your home, your space, a room, just somewhere you're like, okay, this is my recharging space. So it's like, even in my home, it's like, I have like, okay, this is my area. This is where I meditate. So, and soul. So are you slowing down? Are you, yeah, I feel like so many of us are on overdrive and just doing things that help us reconnect with family, friends, with the universe, nature, anything, just to help calm down in so many ways. And I believe spiritual self-love is the basis of humanity and what we came here to do. And the more strong we are spiritually, we can handle things that come our way. So, and I'm non-denominational, and I believe everybody needs to believe in something to get through things. I feel like whatever it is, whether it's a religion or it's God, the universe, whatever it may be, that is a foundation for getting through a lot. And it just seems like it'll help. It'll help. And just knowing that there's something bigger than us to help with things. And working on that foundation. And let's see. Yeah, okay. And I believe also the more we have that strong foundation as well, the more we're clear and we're actually able to make better decisions and not be influenced by other things. And one of the biggest tools I feel like that really doesn't, like everybody wants to change and evolve and better themselves. And one of the biggest things you can do that sets you free is forgiveness. And whether that's to yourself, whether that's to family member or friend, and forgiveness doesn't condone their behavior, but it sets you free so you don't have to hold on to it anymore. So, yeah, and I believe that the more inner work you do, the more you can enjoy the present moment. So they say, I heard some quote somewhere that's like, worrying about the past, you're depressed. If you're worrying about the future, you're anxious. And then if you're present, you're enjoying the moment, something along those lines. And yeah. So just remembering to have more fun, to love yourself, try to not take life so seriously. And then, so I've been offering these workshops. So thanks to Emery, this was birthed because of her. We met at a trunk show and she asked me to do a self-love workshop, and that's how we are now since 8 months now. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm also offering to other women if they want to do other workshops pertaining to your expertise. If you're a lawyer, if you want to do a workshop on how to defend yourself in business, or if you're a business consultant and you want to do a workshop on how to create a business plan, anything that you want to teach to my social network. I have over 400 women in my network. So the idea is to put you on a pedestal so you could promote your business, promote what your business is about, at the same time generate more business from doing workshops. Mm-hmm. That's how a lot of us start off. And if you'd like to do a workshop, just send me an email and then let me know, and we can schedule you in our schedule. I'll put my email address in the chat box.
Yeah. And I'm also offering these workshops for free right now with everything going on. And then I also offer intuitive energy readings and healings. It's an hour session, and I do meditation at the beginning, and then I do an aura reading, and then I look at the spiritual, emotional, physical bodies. So essentially I just help people relax and give intuitive guidance. And that's it. And if you're interested, you can contact me for consultation to tell you more about it. So
yeah, Lisa did a session on me, and it was really, I could just sit here and talk about it until I'm blue in the face. It was relaxing. She opened up new perspectives for me to look at. But the only way to really get the full experience is to book a consultation with her to get the full experience. Because what I'm explaining is just from my experience, and I'm sure everybody has their own, but the idea is that she helps you with your aura, your chakras, alignment. She checks out your chakras, it checks and sees if there's any issues with any one of them and how to remedy it. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
In person or over camera?
I do it over the phone.
Oh, over the phone?
Yeah, I do it over the phone. So, well, congratulations for everybody attending. Did anybody have any questions or comments or anything as we wrap up?
Cool. Looks like we got 15 minutes left for Q&A. If anybody has any other questions, or you can email me if you want a copy of the recording. Send me an email. If you have any questions like the book that Lisa had mentioned, or any affirmations that she had mentioned, send me an email and then I can send that out to you. Mm-hmm. Other than that, everybody have a great Saturday.
Yeah.
Today is Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I lost track.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I wanted to share something.
Sure.
My dad was in here. I'm like, can you please step out? It's personal. So I'm like, I was talking to Lisa before, and I'm on my path with this spiritual growth stuff. Just want to put me first for once. And then when I vent to my friend about it, she's like, I see you making so many steps that you normally don't make. I'm cutting off boundaries with people. And then one is, I have a friend, we've been almost friends for 20 years. And we stopped talking for a while, then we started talking again, just as friends, but he's very mature. And he likes to pick fights with me. He's an Aries, I'm a Pisces. And he knows it too, that we always bicker. And I was just venting to him about an abusive relationship and stuff, and we were okay. And then he starts picking a fight with me. I'm like, I can't do this, we will talk later. And then I thought about it and I was like, I need to cut him off as a friend. If he already knows that I have all this toxic relationships I've been through and he's doing the same as a friend, then I don't need you as a friend. So I think that's very important. Like with us, we are strong enough to know I don't need you in my life anymore, to like cut those boundaries.
That's a big ballsy move. I mean, the question is he benefiting you as a friend?
Mhm.
In any way, how is he benefiting you? That's the rule of thumb.
He drained me. So
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that, that's sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, good.
I wanted to comment on that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Jamaica.
Hi. That's similar to what I experienced a couple months ago, and I've still been transitioning with that. The person doesn't drain me though, but I notice because I'm progressing, I'm moving forward, I'm, how we normally, I don't know, probably everyone on here, we probably had this issue with putting other people first. So now when you're trying to put yourself first, the whole world is like, no, you're not supposed
Exactly.
to.
I
So,
agree.
I'm going to keep saying because literally last year I started telling people in my family, my friends, I matter too. I matter too. So a lot of people didn't like that. My own closest family, they didn't like to hear I matter too. Because you're so used to doing everything for everyone else and putting everyone first. Now, fast forward, I have a friend who's actually a really good friend. She's a good person, but I noticed she started doing stuff that jeopardized our friendship, like the competition, the jealousy, just things that I don't do and I'm not about that. So normally people tell you, cut that person off. If they're not good for you, if they're not doing XYZ, cut that person off. I try to look at it. I almost started to cut her off, but I decided not to. I repositioned her.
Yeah.
She no longer has access to every single thing about me. She no longer has access to enjoy the good stuff about me. If she's not meeting me halfway. So I wait for her to call me, invite me places, and then we go from there, versus me being the one to always, invite her or do things, so basically I repositioned that friendship. We're not extra close like we used to be, but I noticed we're still able to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just different. So
and that's good. That's the thing. That's another thing I didn't mention earlier, that there's people you may need to cut out, and then there's other people you may just need to have a conversation.
Well, we had a conversation because she's on a journey of wanting to love her friends and be there for her friends the way that they need to be.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what she said. So I thought about that because I normally don't open up to people. I normally would cut you off in a minute. Like I'm the runaway girl. So I thought about what she said and I brought it to her attention, and she was still doing the same thing. So what she wants to do is not there yet. And I just realized I'm going to continue to grow because I'm always ambitious. I'm always trying to learn, always trying to grow. And if she's not at that level yet, I just have to meet her where she's at. So I can't expect her to be where I'm trying to be. What's the lady's name? Lisa.
Yes.
My own personal opinion. No, Lisa Sigario.
Yes.
Okay. So Lisa Sigario, my own opinion about your friend, there are friends that you have to completely cut off because they're just absolutely no good for you. But if your friend is a good friend, most of the time, but you guys are on two different journeys, maybe you could just reposition them and meet him or her where he's at versus just completely cutting them out of your life. So that's just from my own personal experience.
I think I need to give him a break because when we reconnected as friends 3-4 months ago, he yells a lot at me. you know, and I had to like tell him, okay, so many times I had to hang up, but I don't, you know, tell him nicely, you don't have to talk to me that way. And the next day he apologized, and I said, you don't need to yell to get your point across.
Yeah.
I know you have passion for me. I know you love me so much, but the way you come at things, like the way I see it is, if I'm on my journey for self-growth and he's still hurt in the past with lots of things that's happened to himself, I don't want that around me.
Mm-hmm.
No. But I do like what you said about repositioning, because I have another friend where she's not doing good financially since I've known her. And whenever she owes me money, I just let her. So, I mean, she had owed me money, and then I told her, you know what, just keep it. And I, you know, you're supposed to give without being told thank you. Instead of her saying thank you through text, she liked my message. I'm like, okay, at least a thank you. So we have a mutual friend, and I told him, I think I'm going to cut her off. He said, well, you know, if she makes you feel good and she's fun and she does positive things for you, I wouldn't cut her off. I just wouldn't lend her money anymore.
Yeah, that's a good
So I
point.
was like, that's good. So that's an awesome point you made, to position the friend, you know.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough. Because when you establish a bond, you have a friendship, and it's like, oh man, you're screwing me over. Now I gotta cut you off. This sucks.
Mhm.
But we gotta
Especially
do
with
what we gotta
women.
do.
It's hard. It's hard. Men can keep their friends from kindergarten. You know,
Yeah.
it's really rare for women to be like, oh, I've been friends with her since I was like in Little League or whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
it's harder for women to have stronger friendships with people. So
Right. Because yeah, you don't want bad people dragging you down, taking money and not paying you back. I mean, money is a big issue too.
it is.
Sensitive. It's emotional sometimes. Like, hey, that was my money.
Yeah, I've heard like don't lend money unless you give it as a gift.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Don't ever expect it back, even necessarily if they say they're gonna pay it back, because otherwise you're gonna be resentful if they don't.
Yeah. And that's actually my, what is that? Not analogy. What's the word I'm looking for? But that's what I never, ever, ever, ever lend money to anyone. I tell them if I have it, I'll give it to you because I don't want to expect it back. And it's also a scripture in the Bible that the borrower is slave to the lender. So if that person doesn't have the money to give it, I mean, if they're borrowing it from you, most likely they'll never get caught up with their own stuff to even give it back,
Yeah.
probably ever. So I always just give it away. Yeah. But I don't give money that often. So I don't get in that trap. People don't come to me for money that often. So, yeah.
All right. Well, it was a good chat. Open things up.
I love it.
I like to say I have a thing where with friends, I'm like, I don't care if I've known you 5 minutes or 20 years. If you don't treat me with love and respect,
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
Like that's like as simple as it is. And like, you know, and I actually have one friend, we've been friends since we were babies, like, and we're still good friends, but she's respects boundaries where I'm like, hey, you're doing this. And she's like, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another childhood friend that she did not, and she just wanted to take advantage of me and was not nice. And this is me, you know, 10, 15 years ago where I was too nice. I don't know if that's even the right word. It's almost like you may be too nice to them, but you're neglecting yourself. So, but yeah, it took like like I had to tell her to like no more. And we're actually still friends now, but we're not as close as we were by any means. But she's definitely at a place where she treats me with love and respect now, even though we're not as close. But I think she knew, you know, how I felt. So
Yeah.
Lisa, that's a good point. What is, I know I came in at the tail end and you guys could tell me to stop talking because I know is it supposed to be over right now?
no, we have a few minutes.
Okay. You brought up a key point about boundaries, and that's something that I'm trying to implement more so. I heard the word boundaries, I think like a year or 2 years ago. I had never heard the word boundaries
Wow.
before, and it was like an aha moment for me. There's actually a book called Boundaries that I was recommended to read. So my question to you is, how do you really, really implement boundaries when it comes to friends? Like, how do you do that?
Well, it comes down to, like, everybody recognize this too. Everybody has their own internal gauge. Like, some people can give a lot, no problem. Like, other people can't. And remembering it really depends on where you are in life too. So it's like, if I have friends or family that are like, hey, can you do this? And I'm like, I can't. Sorry. And also, and sometimes I don't even say sorry. Sometimes I say, I'm not able to do that. And honestly, I feel I've had friends like push my boundaries. And then that's when I was like, if you're pushing my boundaries, we should be friends where we should like work on this, or even like friends or family. Like, okay, how can we like come to a middle ground, especially if it's family, but like friends, that's like another story. But I've had other friends do that where they really push my boundaries and try to take advantage of me. And I was like, oh no. And it's interesting because all of a sudden I stopped being friends with her because I was like, no, like, you're pushing my boundaries, you're taking advantage of me. And so I was like, can't, I can't do that. And then all of a sudden she stopped being friends with other friends in our group. And like, all of a sudden, like, things started shifting, and yeah, they started seeing things that they didn't see before either. So they were pushing, their boundaries too. But it really just comes down to an internal gauge. So like, say someone asks you to do something and like in your heart, you're like, ugh, like it makes you cringe. That means that they're basically overstepping a boundary that you need to check in with. Like, can I give to this person right now, or can I not? Or maybe I can only give this much when they're asking this much. So it's just, the thing is you're the only one that's going to know that the best. But you have to establish what works for you and what doesn't.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully that answered your questions. I feel like sometimes it's in like the situation, but recognizing it in your internal, like how you feel about it. Like if someone's like, hey, can you do this? And you're like, yeah, sure. You feel great about it. Then that's a great time to give. But if like someone asks you and you're like,
Well, I just got to keep relating back to this friend because I'm really still assessing her. But I did also hear that even though a person was good in your life at a certain point, doesn't mean that they're meant to be there like every single season. Because she has displayed, yeah, she's displayed certain traits that have not changed. I've actually cut her out of my life before and didn't talk to her for a year. So this time around, I allowed her to be back in my life, and my mom passed away and she was like really, really there. This just happened in January. So I'm kind of like stuck on that, like how good of a friend she was when my mom passed away, and like just pretty much showed what you would want in a friend. But then when that was over, like she's a good person though. That's where I get stuck too, because she's a good person, but she does things that I don't like. And I've already expressed it to her. So if I've already gave you the opportunity to fix it and you're still doing the same thing, it's like, what do you really do? So like I said, I did reposition, but it still bothers me. Like it still bothers me because I can't be free to be me. I can't be this open, whatever you would want to be to a friend, be, like all the talkative and just be free. Like I feel like there's like a barrier now because, the breach. There's been a breach in the friendship. So I can't be free to be a true, genuine friend because of how she was towards me. So
yeah, but it's like you have to realize friends sometimes can come in for a season, a lifetime, or so it's just realizing that, like, I have one friend, same thing. My dad passed and she was like there, but she's one of friends, like she's kind of in and out of my life here and there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to expect anything from her. I feel like that's also the attachment of expecting things, especially from friends. That can be disheartening, expecting things from certain people. And I heard a quote once that was like, don't expect anything from anyone.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So
but that's hard.
Yeah, but the thing is if you expect things, then you're going to internally be tortured yourself.
Be disappointed constantly.
Yeah. So it's almost like having that humbleness, like, oh, wow, if they do something, this is fantastic. But remembering that you can never change anyone. You can only change your response to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're letting her torture you with this, like with her not showing up in the way you need her to, or you can't feel as free to talk, then that's the relationship you got to look at yourself and be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't allow this, or maybe she should be a friend I see once in a while and maybe not as much.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this too, because I have my daughter, she's like a really wonderful daughter. She's 22. And she had my phone the other day. No, we were all in the car. And you know how like your phone, if you have a navigation system, if somebody calls you, their name will pop up on the navigation system.
Mm-hmm.
So I had renamed my friend, Our Planes Are Going Two Different Ways. So
Sounds like you got to figure it out.
right. And so my daughter and her friend saw that, and my daughter said, Mom, she said, you're not going to have any more friends. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just.
Well, the thing is, you got to be, I think, honestly, I'd rather be around people that lift me up than around people that I feel crappy around.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing. Like, trust me, I've cut out a lot of friends, and something shifted, which I don't know if you feel the same way, Jamaica, but when my dad passed, all of a sudden I got really clear about who's in my life.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, why am I friends with this person? Oh, I'm like letting them talk the whole time about their emotional problems, and I say like two things. And I'm like, why am I friends with this person? But then they have all these other characteristics that are wonderful, and they're different than any other friend I've had. But then I've had to let that go because I'm like, it's not worth it. And I feel after I leave her, I would feel like tired and not as happy. And I'm like, gotta cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like learning how to be your own friends, because at the end of the day, you have to enjoy your own company.
Yeah, I guess this is like, I'm pretty sure we've all been in a bad relationship with a man. This is like that. Like, you need to leave. You need to leave, but you don't know type thing. So, yeah.
Oh my God. There is this new book I just started listening to. I just started listening to it, so I haven't listened to the whole thing. But like, literally, if you haven't heard of this book, oh my God, this man is incredible. It says and I feel like this is good whether you're single or in a relationship. It might be a good reminders, because like I only listened to like the first 10 minutes and I was like, oof, this is like mic drop things that he's saying. So this book is called The Man God Has for You. I just started reading it, and like the stuff he was saying, I was like, ooh, like that is a hard pill to take, but it's like truth, honesty, like about things he was saying, just about like, he was saying something about like, when you show up in a relationship, you need to have your ID. And he's like, I'm not talking about passport. I'm not talking about your license. I'm talking about ID and how you identify yourself and how you show up in the relationship and like everything. And he's like, if you don't heal the past, he's like, you're going to bring that into the relationship. So I don't know, but there's like, honestly, if I highly recommend it. I just started listening to it and I was like,
what's the name of the book?
It's called The Man God Has for You by Stefan Labrosi. I can write it in here. But it's definitely like awakening. Like he's definitely like calls you out. Like where you're like, oh, like I even think if anybody's in a relationship or not, maybe just listen to it anyway. Why is it not? Oh, okay. The Man God Has for You. He's a very successful relationship coach.
I'm buying it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like I can't believe I only listened to like a few minutes, and I was like, ooh, that's
it's an audio book.
Huh?
Is it an audio book?
You can get it as a real book, or as a book, hardback, paperback, or Audible. I'm listening to an Audible. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. So.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to see all of you.
Me too.
Yeah.
If anybody wants a recording, send me an email. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me or Lisa, you send us an email, and then we'll get back to you on that. And stay tuned for the next Self-Love by Lisa.
Yeah. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Guys.
Nice to meet you ladies.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.